Your entire life has been built on a lie, not a lie someone told you, but a lie you didn't even know you were believing. And the moment you see it, everything changes. The crazy part? This truth is so simple that most people miss it completely. It's been hiding in plain sight your entire existence. Welcome to what might be the most important realization of your life. Most of us spend our lives trying to change ourselves. We read books about self-improvement, we make resolutions, we work harder, we go to therapy, yet nothing seems to stick. We feel like we're running on a hamster wheel, exhausted and going nowhere. The reason is that we've been trying to fix the wrong thing all along. We've been trying to change our behavior without ever touching the source of who we are. We've been treating symptoms while ignoring the disease. And that disease is a false belief about what's even possible. Here's the real truth that nobody talks about. Your outer world is a direct reflection of your inner world. Not in some mystical way, though there's science backing this up. Your thoughts, beliefs, and awareness create the lens through which you see reality. That lens shapes every decision you make, every relationship you have, and every outcome you experience. Change the lens and everything shifts. But keep the same lens and you'll just keep getting the same results in different packaging. Think about the last time you were certain about something. You were absolutely convinced you were right. But then someone showed you something you'd never seen before, and suddenly your whole perspective flipped. That moment of seeing differently is where transformation begins. Most people never reach that point because they stop looking. They think they already know. They stop questioning their beliefs, their habits, and the stories they tell themselves about who they are. The mechanism of belief in reality creation. Here's where it gets interesting. Your brain is designed to protect you. It's wired for survival, not for truth. So it holds on to the beliefs you formed when you were young. Your parents told you things. Society told you things. Your past experiences taught you things. Your past experiences taught you things. Your brain collected all of this data and created a filter, a worldview, a philosophy of life. That filter became your normal. You stopped questioning it because it felt safe and familiar. But that same filter is keeping you trapped in patterns you don't want. When you believe you're not good enough, your brain finds evidence everywhere that proves this belief. You notice all the times you messed up. You remember every rejection. You ignore all the evidence of your competence. Your belief literally shapes what you see. This isn't metaphorical. Neuroscience shows that your brain filters out over 99% of the information it receives. It only lets through what matches your existing beliefs and expectations. So you're not seeing reality, you're seeing your beliefs about reality. That's the gap between how you are and how you think you are. This gap is where all your suffering lies. This gap is where your potential waits to be claimed. Understanding your inner world. The truth is that change doesn't happen through force or willpower. Real transformation happens through understanding. When an alcoholic hits rock bottom and finally gets sober, it's not usually because they've suddenly developed more discipline. It's because they've finally had a visceral realization about what their addiction is actually costing them. Something shifted in their understanding. Their entire perspective changed. Once you truly understand something at that deep level, behavior change becomes almost effortless because you're no longer fighting against yourself. You're flowing with your own nature. But here's what stops most people. They don't want to see. They don't want to question their philosophy of life because that would mean admitting they've been wrong. And your ego hates being wrong. So instead, we do what's called incremental change. We nibble around the edges. We try to be better without examining what better actually means. We try to be different without becoming different. We rearrange the furniture in our prison cell and think we've escaped. Real transformation requires what psychologists call a philosophical shift. Your old worldview has to actually collapse. You have to let go of how you thought things worked. And that's terrifying because it feels like dying, like losing your identity. In a way, you are. The version of you that was built on that old belief system has to go. But here's the secret. There's a much freer version waiting on the other side. A version that's not constantly bracing for impact, not always defending its choices, not always performing for the approval of others. A version that can actually be yourself. The power of awareness and consciousness. Consciousness itself is the key. Consciousness is not just thinking. Thinking is something you do. Consciousness is something you are. It's your awareness of yourself and your environment. And here's the game changer. Your level of consciousness determines what's possible for you. If your consciousness is stuck in survival mode, fear-based thinking, then your options are limited to fight, flight, or freeze. You're reactive. Life happens to you. But as your consciousness expands, as your awareness grows, you start to see that you have more options. You have choice. You become creative instead of reactive. You become a participant in your own life rather than a passenger being dragged along. This is why wealthy people often stay wealthy even if they lose everything, and why people who grow up in poverty often struggle even when they get money. It's not luck. It's not just circumstance. It's consciousness. It's their inner operating system, their philosophy of what's possible, their awareness of what they're capable of. When you expand your consciousness, you don't just see new opportunities. You become the kind of person who can actually take them. You become someone who trusts themselves, someone who doesn't sabotage their own success, someone who can handle the discomfort of growth. The three principles that rule your life. There are three forces at work in your existence. First is mind, which is the universal intelligence, the source, the creative energy behind all life. Call it God, the universe, consciousness, whatever resonates with you. The point is that you're connected to an intelligence much larger than your individual thinking mind. This intelligence is always available to you. It's the source of inspiration, intuition, and wisdom. Second is thought, which is your ability to create form from that formless energy. Every single thing you experience starts as a thought. Your reality is literally created, thought by thought, moment by moment. You're not just thinking about your life. You're thinking your life into existence. Third is consciousness, which is your awareness of that creation process happening. Most people are unconscious. They're asleep. They have the same thoughts on autopilot day after day, year after year. The same worries, the same self-criticisms, the same limiting stories, and they wonder why nothing changes. But the moment you become aware of your thinking, that's when power enters. You don't have to believe every thought that comes into your head. You can choose different thoughts, better thoughts, truthful thoughts. When you change your thoughts with consciousness, you change your experience. When you change your experience, your reality reshapes. This is not something that happens eventually. This is something that can happen right now in this very moment, closing the gap between who you are and who you could be. The version of you that's struggling right now is not your true self. Your true self is not wounded by your past. Your true self is not limited by your circumstances. Your true self is whole, capable, and already connected to everything you need. But you can't access that self while you're identified with the old story. You have to be willing to release the identity you've been protecting. This is the one truth that changes everything. Not the truth you think is true, but the truth you've been too afraid to see. Your life is not broken. You're not broken. Your brain is doing exactly what it was designed to do based on old programming. Once you see that, you can finally show yourself compassion. You can stop hating yourself for not being different. Once you see this, you can't unsee it. Your life doesn't suddenly become perfect, but your relationship to your life fundamentally shifts. You stop being a victim and you become a creator. You stop seeking approval and you start trusting yourself. You stop running from pain and you start moving toward your potential. The truth is not outside of you. It's in your own direct experience right now. When you stop looking outside for answers and turn inward, when you get quiet enough to hear that still small voice beneath the noise, that's when you find it. The power you've been searching for has been inside you the whole time. That's the one truth. And once you see it, your life will never be the same.